Today I'm going to talk about the perception of skateboarding culture as a whole. We get put in a negative light quite often. People think that we're vandals, that all we want to do is break into private property and vandalize and graffiti and trespass and many other criminal behaviors. Well, I want to tell you that's not true at all. All we want to do is go practice our sport, go practice our hobby, go practice something that is extremely deep and meaningful to us. Another thing that people might think is that we're bad influences on kids because of these negative connotations. People think that we're druggies, people think that we're lazy, people think that we're uneducated. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm not uneducated. Clearly, I'm doing this for a college class. So, 1 point for skateboarders right there. Where does this negative light come from? Well, I think it goes back to the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a TV show called Jackass, as well as another one pardon my language, by the way, as well as another TV show called CKY. Both of these were hosted by a man named Bam Margera, who was a professional skateboarder, I guess still is a professional skateboarder. But he didn't get his fame from skateboarding. He got his fame from acting, as the name of the show says, like a jackass. And the popularity of that show, I think, really kind of caused a landslide of negative feelings towards skateboarders, that we're just out here to do those kind of things, to act like jackasses. Pardon my language, I'm sorry. But I want to tell you that that's not true. All we want to do is go find a quiet parking lot somewhere where we can practice a sport, a hobby, that is extremely meaningful for us. I know in my life it has helped not only my physical health, but it has helped my mental and emotional state very well. There are few things that I find more therapeutic than just putting in my headphones, going off by myself, and just skateboarding for an hour. It's my favorite way to start the day. It gets my mind right, it gets my body right, and I'm ready to go. So what am I trying to prove to you? Well, I want to show you that skateboarding culture is not negative. Not at all. I'm sure, of course there's going to be those bad apples, but you're going to have that in anything that you look at. One of the main reasons that people think that we're criminals is that we often have to go onto private property. I interviewed a local semi-professional skateboarder named Fred Cockrum. I asked him if he thought that there were enough skate parks in the area. He gave me a resounding no. And I'm going to have to full-heartedly agree with him on that point. If we had a place that we could just go practice our hobby without getting in trouble, you'd probably never hear from us. We wouldn't bother you at all. But the thing about that is, skate parks don't draw in any money, and they're expensive. So why would cities build them? There's really no good reason for them to, other than what I said, giving us a place to go, but they're not really worried about that. One thing that I've come to notice about skateboarding culture is that it is one of the most positive groups of people, the most collective collaboration of people that I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your age. We're all just here to skate. Yes, there is a high risk of injury in the sport, which I feel like is another way that we get this negative connotation of our sport, that we're adrenaline junkies, that we're just out here with blatant disregard for ourselves and others. Well, I don't want to get hurt. I don't think any of my friends want to get hurt either. We want to be able to wake up tomorrow and practice our sport again. Another question that I asked Fred in my interview was if he'd ever been negatively stereotyped just for the fact that he participates in this sport. And that's another resounding yes. He said that there's plenty of times that people have told him that he needs to grow up and go get a job. Well, guess what? He's an adult and he probably has a better job than most of these people that are making these assumptions about him. We're not uneducated. We're not drug addicts. I'm doing this presentation on skateboarding for a college class. Obviously, I'm educated. We're not bad examples. It's one of the most positive cultures I've ever seen. It doesn't matter if you just started, if you just learned how to roll around on that board, we're probably more excited for you than you are, because we love seeing people grow in our sport. But I'm really hoping that some of these things have shown you that skateboarders aren't these jackasses that we've been portrayed as in society. And thank you for your time.